I grew up knowing a lot of stories in the Bible, but actually it hasn't been until more recently that I could begin to understand the Bible as one story that begins there at creation in the original garden there in Genesis and works its way over the history books and the wisdom books and the prophets and the gospels and the epistles. And then we come to the book of Revelation. And it's not simply another book in the Bible. It's the final book of the Bible. And so perhaps my favorite part of the book of Revelation is the final 2 chapters. It's such a fitting end, not only to the book of Revelation, but to the Bible as a whole. In the final 2 chapters of Revelation, we discover a resolution to so many of the storylines or themes and images that have been such a vivid part of the Bible story ever since the Garden in Eden, ever since the first 3 chapters of the Bible. You've got the imagery of marriage, which began in the garden and comes to such a beautiful conclusion, or actually a new beginning, as this marriage between Christ and his bride is consummated there in Revelation. There is the imagery of a city, which has honestly, throughout the story of the Bible, been somewhat troubling. Oftentimes, the city's been a place that has rejected God. But at the end of Revelation in 21 and 22, we've got this city at which God himself dwells in the city, and it is full of his glory. It's what the city was always meant to be. From the beginning of the Bible, we've had this idea of sanctuary or temple, and throughout the Bible story, it becomes a place that's actually sullied with idolatry. And then we see Christ coming, who is the temple in the Gospels. But then into the new creation in Revelation 21 and 22, we see this final glorious temple. It's not built of limestone in a city in the Middle East. No, the temple covers the whole of creation. And then there's the beautiful theme of a garden itself. The Bible story begins in a garden, and the Bible story ends in a garden. Except this garden is even better than the original garden. It is more abundant. It's more secure. And so I love this ending to Revelation, because not only does it set something out for us to set our hearts on, to long for living in that city and worshiping in that temple and being satisfied in that garden and enjoying that marriage. It's a fitting, satisfying end to the whole of the story of the Bible.